your girl Bob the Healer. I'm back with another live video. Today we're talking about reading the art of your birth chart. Yes, darling. Take a notepad, get you a pen, and let's get to learning. I'm so excited to put this video together for you guys. This is the number one requested video from you all. And I'm very grateful. I've had many people, including my clients, ask me for a video like this. How do I understand my birth chart? What is a birth chart? We're going to get into it. So sit back, relax, and make sure you are subscribed if you're new around here. So, what is a birth chart? Baby, your birth chart is like God's blueprint on your life. Yes. You know, the stars were aligned by divine, and because of that, they tell a unique blueprint, a unique story to your journey. Okay, but first, let me go a little touch up. Where did I put my lip gloss? One second. Okay, so when we are looking at the birth chart, everyone's birth chart is unique and distinct to the timing, the location, and the first and last name, of course. You need all that information to get the unique blueprint, right? And so when we're putting in your birth chart, I like to go to like astro.charts.com. I don't know about them other sites, honey. Okay, Bob don't know about them other sites. I can't get vouch for those other sites, you see. But I can vouch for Astro Charts. That's what I like to use. And then if you really want to get into it, darling, um, we can talk about the types of charts, okay? Because there's Western astrology, there's Eastern astrology, which is totally different. There's sidereal, there's placid, there's I personally like to use placid, okay? But anywho, we're getting into just the general idea of what is your birth chart. Like I said, it's your blueprint. It's the way that God kissed the stars, the planets, the signs when you were born from divine. Okay. So when we break down the birth chart, thank you, baby. You are beautiful. Make sure you are subscribed. When we break down the birth chart by planet, this is where things get good. Okay. This is where things get interesting. We start to see a unique story that your chart is telling about you, your life, your personality, and your feminine and masculine energy. Okay. We can even get down to, how you can make money, honey. Okay. What your personal legend is, what your trajectory could be if you applied all you can be, honey. All right. So, what is your big three? This is something that people talk about a lot in astrology, and it's typically something that a lot of people know. Now, if you're really new to astrology, you have no idea, it's just your sun sign that we're going to focus on first, okay? Your sun sign is your ego, it's your masculine energy, it's your like sign that everybody knows, okay? Comment your sun sign below. I want to see who's up in here. So, when we talk about the sun sign, it's typically the day that you're born in the sign of the sun when you were born. So if you're born in early June, you're probably a Gemini. Late June, you're a Cancer. Early July, you're a Cancer. You know where I'm going with this. So that is typically what people know about themselves, and they do not base everything on this sign, honey. Listen to Bob the Healer. Don't base everything on the sign. This is just a small glimpse of your divinity. Okay. This is what we call in astrology your ego. Have you subscribed, honey? You getting all this tea? Have you subscribed? Hmm. Okay. I'm just checking. So your ego is your general personality. It's how other people see you, day to day consistently. It's also your masculine energy, and it's the energy your father had when you were born or when you were being created. Okay, you can look to this sign overall for your personality, and typically what you like. Okay, if you're a Taurus, you probably love good food. If you're a Gemini, you probably love good conversation. If you're a Cancer, you love a good home cooked meal, honey. Okay, these are the elements of that sign. Make sure you are subscribed, darling. All right. Then we're going to talk about your ascendant. This is not typically what people know, but we're going to get into it. So take your notes. Your ascendant is how other people perceive you. It's how other people see you in this world. It's the first glimpse into you and your aura is your ascendant. Okay. It's also how you project your personality. So you can have an ascendant in another sign than your sun sign, completely different. And that tells a unique story. And we'll get to the layers. So stay tuned. Then your next planet in your big three. Okay. So we talked about our sun, which is our ego and our masculine energy, how our father showed up while our mother was conceiving. Okay. Our ascendant is essentially how you come out when you're birthed, darling. It's like the first impression people have, first impression your parents had when you were conceived. Hi, baby. Make sure you're subscribed. And then we have our moon. This is our feminine energy. This is our intuitive side. This is our inner self, our emotional side. This is the side that most people don't see when they first meet us. Thank you for subscribing. Okay. Welcome to the Healer Heart community. All right. And so with the moon sign, we can also see the elements of the mother. Okay. We can see how the mom was, the energy of the mother when she was pregnant with the child. And so we look at the sun and the moon to tell the story between your feminine and your masculine and how to balance those energies, both your inner, which is your moon, and your sun, which is your outer self. So that inner and outer dialogue is consistently happening in the spirit. We just don't pay attention to it. And so astrology gives you that opportunity to slow down and listen to the story that's being told between your inner and outer self. Who's paying attention? Next, we'll talk about the big five. Okay, so the big three is generally what most people will talk about in astrology. Okay, how I appear to others, my inner self, my outer self. Your moon is also how you are at home, how you are with women. Your sun is how you are with masculine energy, men. So that dialogue also gets deeper when we add the other two or three planets. I like to say the big five for me when I'm looking at an astrology chart is the sun, the moon, the Mercury. We'll get into that soon. The Venus and the Mars. Those tell me a complete snapshot of the person or the client that I'm working with, their energy, and I intuitively can read the chart from that point on. But for you, when looking at your own chart, I want you to pay attention. Okay. I want you to pay attention to what is the dialogue that's happening between the signs and the planets. Okay. So now that you put your information into astrochart, okay, .com, and you can see what your sun, your moon, and all the planets and things are. I'm going to help you understand that in your big five. So, your Venus is your femininity. Venus is the planet of love, resources, the planet of abundance. It shows you your feminine energy at its prime. It shows you how to capture that feminine essence and how to generate resources in your own life just through your energy, honey. It's called energy work. And so, looking at your Venus sign can tell you a lot about your relationships with women, your relationships in love. And this is where gender kind of matters here in astrology. So, when we are looking at a man's chart and we want to look at the type of woman he would ultimately love, we would look at the Venus. If we are looking for, and this is like in a heterosexual, okay, if a man is attracted to a woman, if a man were attracted to a man, we look at the Mars to see what type of man or masculine energy he's actually attracted to. If we are looking at a heterosexual woman, we're going to look at the Mars to see what she's attracted to. Okay, you get it? So switch the sign depending on the gender or whatever. So when we're looking at the Venus, we can see the type of women that we love to hang around when you're a woman. So if your Venus is in the sign of Libra or Taurus, that is the ruler of that planet. Okay. So you can really attract a lot of abundance in the Venezuelan energy to the max. Okay. Which is kindness, balance. If you're Libra, generosity, graciousness, those that energy is Venus and Libra, or Venus and Taurus, which is more of like the sensual side, um, using all the senses in love to really attract beauty and attract abundance. And so those planets and those signs typically can generate more of that energy, and it's more naturally attuned for them. Looking at your Venus can tell you a lot about yourself. If you want to book a reading, make sure you email me at I am Bob the Healer at gmail.com. Click the link in my bio and book your personal astrology reading now. All right, let's get into Mars. Your Mars sign also tells you about how you go after your goals, your passions, darling, your sexual drive, and how you accomplish what it is you want in life. It can also show your aggression here. Your masculine energy is your Mars. Mars is the planet of aggression. Okay, Mars is the god of war. So, having Mars in the sign of Scorpio or Aries, this intensifies that masculine energy. Whether you're a man or a woman, you will have that bravado energy about you, a strong sexual drive here, darling. And so when you're looking at the Mars, we can tell a lot about your sexuality. We can tell a lot about how you accomplish your goals and your passionate nature. What gets you going, honey? What gets you up? Okay. So we talked about Venus and Mars, which are really about balancing the masculinity and the femininity in the chart. Here we can see how to generate money, how to go after our passions, how to accelerate in life. Using these elements or these planets in the chart, you've already got a good artistic start, darling. You're already painting the picture that you want. Okay. And so when we look at the Mercury, we are looking at how we think. We're looking at the mind, darling. Mercury is ruled by Gemini. So in Virgo as well. And it's all about the hands, it's all about communication. And thank you for subscribing, baby. And those things, when we look at the Mercury, we really want to see how can we use the mind as a tool. How can we work with the mind? Not everyone thinks the same. Not everyone learns the same. And so here when I'm looking at my client's chart, I'm really analyzing how they think, how they create, and how the Mercury and Mars, how they create and generate and push their ideas into being grounded into life. Um, all of those things is like a story that's being told in the chart. And we want to add it up like an equation. Stay tuned. I'm going to show you about my astrology equation too. Okay. Now, if we want to take it up a notch, we're going to go a little deeper. We're going to talk about houses in degrees. What is a house in astrology? A house in astrology really is an aspect of your chart that tells you a very microscopic view of your life, like a certain aspect of your life. So the first house is talking about your personality overall. It's about you, okay? And that's what brings a lot of people to astrology is themselves. So it's about learning your personality, your makeup, your ego. It's kind of how you were from 0 to 5. Okay. It's your general you, part of you that's not been tainted by the world. We can see this is also ruled by Aries naturally because it's the first sign. So it's your instinctual side, self. Excuse me, your instinctual side, instinctual self. I said that in one word. Your second house. This is an important house. This house is all about resources. It's all about generating abundance, resources, your relationship with tangible things. This house is ruled by Taurus. Okay. This is the house of land, resources. It tells the story of how you deal with your money, your finances. And astrology can even tell you the history, like generationally, of what's happening with your family. Okay. If you look at your Jupiter, okay, planet of Jupiter, but that's getting real deep. Okay. If you want to book your reading by clicking the link in my bio. Um, Third house. This is the house we call the cousin house, honey. This is about communication. It's ruled by Gemini. It's the house of siblings, cousins, short trips, and excursions. This house will show you how to get up and go. Okay. Taurus energy quickly moves into Gemini energy, which is fast movement. Okay. How to communicate, how to generate, how to create a network. Then we get into the fourth house. This is the house of Cancer. Any Cancers? This is the house of family, your home. Okay. If you have any planets in any of these houses, take note because it's a special theme, a reoccurring theme that's happening in your life. And you have to take a look, okay, into the story, darling. And then we get into the fourth house where we talk about your intimate space, your home, your childhood, okay, the relationship with your mommy. Yeah, all of this is in the fourth house. All of this is in the fourth house. Then we get to the fifth house. Fifth house is the house of play, your inner child, exploration. This is a very important house. This is the house of creation. This tells the story of how you create. This tells the story of how your inner child likes to play. And you better listen up because the story doesn't change just because you grow up. You don't hear me though. I said the story doesn't change just because you grow up. This is the house where you're really going to learn how to create something from the ground up and how to have fun. And, this is also the house of addictions. Okay. Sometimes you got a little too much fun, darling. So you got to be careful. Okay. You can have a little bit of gambling problems going on if you have any planets, especially Jupiter in the fifth house, honey. Sometimes the gambling can be big. Um, Also, this is a house of children. So if you have planets in this house, Pay attention, especially if you have Uranus here. This could be unexpected children that come out of nowhere and a bunch of unexpected children that come out of nowhere. I've seen it time and time again. Okay. All right. And then we move to sixth house. Oh, I wanted to mention that fifth house is Leo as well. We move through the zodiac signs of the season as we get to different houses, if you haven't caught on. And make sure you take notes. I'm making this video for a reason because you guys keep requesting, emailing me, asking me. So here we go. All right. Next is the sixth house. This is the house of every day. This is your work routine. This is your gym routine. This is your diet. This is your health routine. This is your daily habits. Okay. This, honey, is where you want to take it up a notch. Okay. Okay. This is where, if you want a reading on how to change your life, I want you to pay attention to this house. Okay. This house is going to help you to edify and transform your daily habits. When you pay attention to what's going on in here, what story is being told, what pattern is being created. See, as an intuitive reader, I love to review the birth chart for spontaneous patterns. Okay. Spontaneous patterns. Things that jump out at the chart. I say, ooh, what is that? Darling, what is that? Let's take a closer look. And I start to see a story that's being told and a pattern that's being told. And maybe it's a story from your ancestors and it goes from generation to generation. And it's you that needs to break the cycle. I can see those things. And I'm trying to teach you, but you ain't writing notes. I'm not writing notes. Comment your sun sign below, honey. Okay. So the sixth house here, you can see daily routines. Um, and any planets here are a real red flag to pay attention to. It could be a green flag, honey. But you just want to pay attention to this house if you're really focused on changing your diet, your body. Um, yes. So also sixth house is ruled by Virgo. So this is that energy of like the intestines, your diet, having a your diet being linked to your everyday habits and your gym routine. All those things are communicating a story here. All right, moving on, darlings. Seventh house. This is the house that gets people going. Okay. This is the house of Libra. Okay. This is the house of relationships, contracts, agreements. Many novice look here when they are looking for like marriage indicators. I said many novice look here when they're looking for marriage indicators. Why? Because seventh house is just not about marriage. It's about legal binding contracts. Okay, you can have indicators that you're going to sign a contract with someone, but it may not be marriage. You feel me? Okay, it could be you sign a lease together. It could be, and I'm saying this because I don't want my Heal a Heart community to get confused. When we are reading a chart intuitively, we're looking at the story being told. Okay, you can see the theme of the characters, you can see the plot of the story, but sometimes you don't see the details of every scene. And that's the beauty of astrology. Okay. And so the seventh house can show you any type of dynamics where you're signing contracts, where you're in something that is considered a commitment, and how you respond in that commitment, how you relate to that commitment. The first legal contract we really have is our birth certificate, darlings. And so it really shows the energy of your birth shows the energy of your commitment in life to yourself. Okay, the relationship we have with ourself is also shown in the seventh house, as well as the first house. How we view ourselves and our ego, and then how we view ourselves in relationship dynamics. And the first relationship we have is the one with ourself and God. Come on. All right. And so, seventh house being ruled by Libra is all about contracts, balance, laws, okay, unspoken agreements. We really want to pay attention to the energy and the sign, the house rulers. You see, house rulers tell the energy of that area of life. So, for instance, if you have a house ruler of Libra in the seventh house, you have double Libra energy here. That means balance, partnerships, legal contracts are destined to be a part of your relationships. Okay. Okay, we got some top fans in here. Hi, baby. I love to see it. Okay. Moving on. Eighth house. Eighth house here is a very, very mystical house. It's one of those houses that is mysterious, darling. If you have planets here, you are a mystic and you probably didn't know it. And I'm here to tell you, you need to book a reading. If you have any planets in the eighth house, book a reading with your girl. I'm telling you, I'm gonna get you right. This is a very unconscious house for some people, and it can take over your life or it can transform your life. If you wanted to transform your life, click the link in my bio. The eighth house is ruled by Scorpio. This is a deep, mysterious house that really rules the death, afterlife, okay, rebirth, sex, drugs, rock and roll, darling. It rules other people's money, honey. Okay, this can be your credit score in this house. This can be how you deal with other people's resources, other legacies. This can show inheritance. You're going to receive inheritance from your family's legacy. This shows life after death. Okay. This house is very important to our relationship with um, our darkness. Okay. We all have light and darkness in the chart and in our lives and in ourselves. Thank you, baby. Make sure you are subscribed. I love all you guys' support. I really appreciate it. So, Scorpio ruling the house of eighth, okay, the house of transformation and death, it's going to get deep here. Any planets here is a strong karmic lesson that must be told, and you got to go through it, baby. Can't go over it, cannot go under it, must go through it. It is a strong lesson. And if you have Saturn here, for real, email me, okay? Email me because that's my placement. And there's many lessons I can help you avoid, darling. All right, moving on. You are excited, make sure you are liking this up, sharing this video. I am so excited to share this information with you guys. The ninth house. The ninth house is ruled by Sagittarius. Mystical, adventurous Sagittarius. And here, after we've experienced life after death, we are telling the story of spiritual exploration. This gives us a snapshot into our relationship with God, with religion, with theology, with philosophy, our way of thinking outside of the box. And when we get to the ninth house, it's a house of slowing down, it's a house of reassurance that you're on your spiritual journey. And here's how you tap in deeper. Okay. Make sure you're subscribed. Okay, that's how you tap in deeper, dollar. And so I love looking at the ninth house to create a spiritual routine that is unique to you. Okay, that's not regurgitated, that's not ritualistic. It's your personal relationship with divine. It's your gate to your life purpose. It's your vocation. It has very little to do with your career, but your vocation, what it is you've been put on this earth to live out in your light purpose, your divine purpose, your divine being's job, essentially. And it being ruled by Sagittarius really is about spiritual exploration, allowing your spirit to literally explore in its relationship with divine, not putting restraints on it. And how that's seen depends on, of course, the house ruler and the signs that it's, affecting the house. And we'll get down to aspects and degrees next, because baby, we getting into some things. Okay, I'm really teaching you for free. So make sure you subscribe. Okay? Make sure you subscribe. Okay? Build up your spiritual bank and subscribe. Yes. And so the ninth house definitely could show you deep intel on your relationship with divine, how to build that up, how to nurture that, how to allow your spirit to explore without restrictions and specifically just for you. Okay. 10th house. This is the house most men love because this is a house that shows you your career. And I'm not gonna just say men, I'm gonna say people who are career driven. They're like, okay, tell me about my career path. Tell me how to make the most money. Okay, slow it down, darling. The 10th house is all about how you show up in the public, not necessarily your career, but can give you an idea on your career talents, what you're most likely going to be public for. Okay, what you'll get public recognition for. It's also how you work with institutions, banks, not necessarily banks, but like public, like the government. Uh, if you ever have hold a public office or anything like that, that puts you on public status. Okay, you can see some celebrity indicators here. We can also just see how you present on social media here. Okay, some of the 10th house, some of the 11th house as well. Like if you have a business page, it's more of your 10th house, and your personal page is more of your 11th house. But yes, the 10th house shows us how we can take it up a notch when we strive towards our dreams. Okay, if our planet of Mars is here, baby, there's a lot of competition, and you going after your goals, your dreams. When it comes to public recognition, you may have a lot of men fighting for your attention or fighting against you for public recognition. Depending on your gender, it does matter. 10th house is also just how you show up in the public. You, your family, your public persona. Okay. You can really manipulate the 10th house. And a lot of people do, where their 10th house will show them one way, but how they are in their fourth house, which is their home life, it's totally opposite. Okay. The 10th house was ruled by Capricorn. This is the house of put in the work, you get the results, darling. Put in the work, you get the results. And this is how I show my clients how to achieve with ease. I think Capricorns have learned one of the most magnificent things about money or resources is that they can make your life easier. And the 10th house here shows you how to make your life easier by being very specific to the sign that is ruled by the house and the planets that are in it. Will show you how to achieve with ease. For instance, if you have a Venus in your 10th house, baby, money comes to you very easily in your public career. Venus is ruled by resources. All you have to do is sign legal contracts here. All you have to do is do what's right because Libra is all about balance and justice, doing what's right, morally correct for the greater good, for everyone, not just you. Okay. Your karmic justice is very Libra. Venus here. Okay. If you have Jupiter in the 10th house, that means big opportunities come to you. And they could be through men that you date, they could be through men in your life that you've admired that have successful careers as well. This house is a very important house as far as how to take it up a notch without working so hard. Okay. If you have an Aries in 10th house, I highly recommend working for yourself because you're the boss. And can't nobody tell you nothing. And look at people who have run their own business as a guide and done it very well. Okay, very well. Okay. 11th house. This is the house of friendship. It's ruled by Aquarius. It's the house of community, humanitarian efforts. Okay. Getting involved with social justice, social networking. Okay. Your social network. Okay. Is your social network. Here you can see your friend group, how you get along with community, the types of community you feel comfortable in. This is very important, especially as you get older. And as you move through the chart, you get older, right? The age range gets older. You learn more things. Okay. The time that you spend in this world with your friend group should be very unique to your birth chart. I'm telling you. Even the activities that you do for fun with your friends, you can look at in your 11th house. If you have a Gemini 11th house, social networks are so important. Having a variety of different friend groups and having different hobbies here is very important. Game nights are really fun here with the 11th house in Gemini. Any type of air signs in a air sign dominant house is just good synastry, babe. And the 11th house here can also show you what moves you socially. What causes do you feel devoted to? All right. Aquarius is all about the greater community, not just thyself. That the fifth house, which is Leo, opposite of the 11th house, is all about play and exploration and indoors with the inner child. The 11th house is having purpose in the service with the community outdoors. So here you can see what really gets you going, what gets you motivated to support the types of communities that get you motivated and make you feel inspired. Okay, I think everyone should look at their 11th house, their ninth house to see where they should be putting their spiritual energy. Here's where you can get your spiritual bank up, honey. Okay, what causes you should donate to things that really feel impactful to your community. All right, will really add to your spiritual bank. Adding to your spiritual bank is a beautiful thing. Okay, you'll never go broke. Listen, from a spiritual healer to my community, add to your spiritual bank. If you don't take nothing, honey, take this. Add to your spiritual bank and get real detailed. Create a little checklist of things that you want to do every day to add to your spiritual bank. You could do opening a door for someone, buying someone coffee, small goodness that doesn't have a price tag. Okay. Even prayer, honey. Add to your spiritual bank. All right. Moving on. The last house, 12th house. Mm. This is the house of hidden mysteries. This is a house that is well researched in astrology. Most astrologists can't figure it out. This is the house of God, I would say. This is the hidden mysteries. This is the unseen. This is where you just have to surrender and let go. This is the house of sacrifice. This is the Abraham going up on the mountain to give his son and not realizing what's going to happen. Only for God to meet him and say, "You know what? Sacrifice the ram." That is the 12th house, okay? 12th house is ruled by Pisces, which is a mystical house, a mystical sign, excuse me. And This is the last zodiac of all zodiacs. Okay. It's learned all the lessons of the previous houses. And now it has learned the best thing is you know nothing but to surrender your knowledge to the Almighty's knowledge. Okay. That's my interpretation of the 12th house. Here you can really see some unconscious things that are happening in your life. Okay. Unconscious stories. Okay. That could be happening in your dreams. These could be dreams from your past lives. This could be dynamics of your karma. But, honey, this is a story you want to pay attention to. This is a fantasy of your life in the 12th house. Yes, yes. And it being ruled by Pisces, baby, you got to take it slow like the movement in the ocean, like the fish that it is. Ride the wave of the 12th house. Okay, with these unhidden conscious karmas coming up, if there are any planets here, honey, you better pay attention. Yes. Okay. Because these could be themes that you are not paying attention to for years come, and finally in your last years you get it. But when you are a Hill Heart community member like yourself, you're getting extreme access, previous access that you weren't privy to. And this access is going to allow you the ability to see things you never saw before in your life and be able to edify. That's the beauty of this beautiful magic video. It's really going to help you transform your life and take it up a notch. 12th house is going to help you see things that you've never been able to see. Some of you may have hidden gifts if you have any planets here. If you have any water planets or water signs here, you deeply are psychic and intuitive. And it can happen through music, through your dreams, through sounds, through spiritual relationships with animals, your spirit teams, and your guides, with angels, okay, with the Holy Spirit, with the Spirit of God, okay? 12th house really shows you who you are outside of your physical form. And that's the best way to put it. Make sure you are subscribed. All right, now, those of you who stuck around for this part of the video, I'm very grateful. Now we're getting really deep. This takes astrology down to the next level. Once you've seen your big five and big three, and you got to your houses and the signs of those house rulers, you're really going to look at the aspects, the synastry that is being told. Okay. If we've talked about the story and the overall themes in your chart, this is like the side quests. This is like the detailed minute by minute script in your life. Yes, the synastry. Okay. The aspects in your chart, okay, is like the dialogue that's happening in your life. We have your sun and your moon. If there's aspects between that, that's a story. That's a dialogue between your ego and your emotions, your outer self and your inner self. Okay. Now, what are the aspects? The aspects show the communication level between the planets. Honey, if we are talking a sextile, the communication is flowing pretty easy. Okay. It's pretty simple. So easy, we don't even really notice that it's flowing that well between the planets and the signs that's communicating. Now, the trine is even easier, even flowier. That's a word, even flowier. Okay, it's even smoother, more luxurious, simple. The communication between the planets are so great that we barely understand the conversation that's happening. It's like background noise, beautiful background sound noise, like jazz. Okay, when it's a square, it's a little rocky. Okay, miscommunication is the word that I would say. Okay, between the planets and signs, having difficulty communicating, they're having difficulty talking things through, and there is a lesson that is going to require a little bit of testing. Now, an opposition, honey, that's just straight up warfare. That's just straight up dogmatic. You got to be serious. Okay, the conversation is getting very much blunt. very much this is what's happening, and you're going to resist it, and we're probably going to argue, but we're going to get to some type of resolution by the end of this conversation. And a conjunct is like, oh, we're flowing. We see eye to eye. Everything is good. Okay. So we have a trine, we have a sextile, we have a conjunct, we have a square, and we have opposition. The ones we start to see are red flags, are squares and oppositions. There are difficult conversations that we have to pay attention to. Trines and sextiles are lovely, harmonious aspects. And conjunct is very eye to eye. It's like, oh, okay, everything is smooth, everything is good. I'm flowing, you flowing. We on the same page. Now, when we look at the aspects in the chart and the planets and the signs, we want to look at it like an equation. Okay. In this equation, we have the planet plus the sign plus the house that it's in plus the other planet in the other sign. Okay. And how they're communicating, which is the aspect. For example, I'll take one of my aspects. I have a Venus sextile Mars. Okay. I also have this with a person in synastry. And you can put people's charts together and it creates a whole nother relationship, person, dynamics, communication. All right. And if you want to book a compatibility reading, click the link in my bio. Okay. If, I know you got a little boo thing. I know you got a little boo thing you interested in. You like, oh my goodness, do they like me? Is the chemistry right? Are we compatible? Yes. Click the link in my bio. Book your reading. Let's get to it. Okay. So Venus sextile Mars. The Venus is in the sign of Libra, which is its ruler, which is a great harmonious relationship between the feminine energy. Okay. And then the sextile is the aspect of harmonious, getting along easily. And then we have my Mars, which is my masculine energy in the sign of Gemini. And so that communication is saying my femininity and my masculinity work together harmoniously. And that is the story. Now, when we get down to the aspects on my Venus and my Mars, that's when we take it up to expert level. Okay, and if you want to learn more, like, share, subscribe, and comment below. I need you right now to comment in the section below if you want to know more. Okay, but for now, that's pretty much it. That's how you read your birth chart, darling. Now, I want to get into some rules on reading your birth chart. You have to pay attention to the overall story that's being told in the birth chart. Okay. Not the fantasy you want to paint about your sun sign. It's an overall glimpse into your life, not just today, but years to come, your past self, your past life. It's an infinite portal into you. And you have to take a look at it like a story that has infinite free will and options. Number one rule to reading your birth chart intuitively is know that you have free will. Know that you have God's will. And however you want to take it up a notch or not, you can and you will. But it's up to your will. It's up to God's will. Okay? And only God knows truly what's going to happen to you. So don't get into this thinking, oh my God, everything is fate, everything is predicted. No. You are fate, baby. Your life is fate. And that's the only thing fated. You get to choose how you want to live that life. This is just a theme. General themes that are happening in your life and in the choices that you have in front of you. And you can continue to repeat the same choice. Okay, repeat the same choice over and over again, or you can not. Choice is yours. But most importantly, I want you to know that you can use your chart to follow your own intuition, follow your own God given life purpose. Tap in with God, okay? And know that God leads all of us, even in small, distinctive ways, okay? And this is just his blueprint for you. Yeah. He left this little blueprint of all the stars and signs and where they were when you were born to give you a little roadmap, darling, into your destiny. So why not use it to your best capability? Thank you for rocking with me, guys. And if you're new here, make sure you are subscribed and like this, share this with someone who's interested in learning about their birth chart. And I'll see you next time.